Hello and welcome to our next video on Riskier's TrueCode Analysis tool. In this video, we will show you how to configure and run automated code checks by performing an example. First, we have to go to the Code Checks tab, since we will focus on the third part, the run of all the code checks. We can see that there are multiple code checks, and each one of them has its own settings. These code checks aim to locate any possible vulnerability, misbehavior, or insecure code development, according to the specifications defined in the context configuration by the user. Let's see some examples. The function argument validation checks if an argument in a function call can get out of range. This is done by searching for a missing argument validation between the declarator and the call of functions specified in the context. Since we have already configured the functions and their respective arguments in the context, we only have to select the correct context for the function declarator and the function caller. The integer overflow validation check searches for multiplications, left shifts, or additions without proper range checks, which can lead to integer overflows. We can also choose if we want TrueCode to check for one or more of these mathematical operations. The unexpected return value check searches for code structures which return values unintentionally. This may happen by mistake when developers forget to not update the return values. An example is shown here where the return value is not updated. In the configuration panel, we simply have to define the type of the context which is already defined for analysis. In a similar manner, we can configure all of the rest of the code checks. The user can also import more code check configurations by going to File, Code Check Configurations, Import, and selecting a JSON file. This will add new configurations to the already existing ones. Since we have Clang installed, the context has been created as shown in the previous video, and all of the code checks are configured, we can now start running the procedure. We first start by generating the context so that TrueCode will know which functions to check. When the context generation is finished, we are ready to run all of the code checks by ticking the button at the bottom. We can see that TrueCode is running each code sequentially. It uses the context to locate the predefined functions or code parts and perform the respective code checks. At the same time, in the Tree tab, all of the vulnerabilities found appear sorted by the colors in their respective sources. We can see that with TrueCode, in less than 5 minutes, we have reviewed thousands of lines of code. This is why we believe every developer or security analyst can benefit from TrueCode. But would you like to see how to configure the generic static analyzer? We will see that in the last video of how to use generic static analysis checker in TrueCode. Stay tuned!